How you doing? My name is Kai Blake.
And I'm Tom Larson.
And we are the boys
of
Bass, coming at you like Tom Akazi, fixing backs and dropping facts. So this is episode 4.
Episode 4? Wait, that's my line.
That's episode 4. I was gonna say it. You weren't saying it, so I had to take it. I had to take it. All right.
Our mission: educate,
And
entertain,
promote,
and enlighten on physical therapy and health wellness.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
Episode 4.
episode 4.
Episode 3 first. Let's back up.
Yeah, what was that
Rewind.
about? What we talked about there?
What was that about?
I think it was postural awareness and it was a mobility.
Mobility, stability pattern.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Alternating pattern, mobility, and stability.
Yep,
Cool,
no,
cool.
no,
So we're going through our eval process.
Yes, sir.
Our first process.
Yes, sir.
And after we look at the mobility, stability patterns, then we start looking at movement compensations,
Right.
movement patterns.
Right.
So you're an amazing compensatory machine. Your brain will figure out ways around issues all the time. For example, Kai, you've sprained your ankle before, right?
I've heard it a lot of times. I don't know the sprain, but I've heard it.
Well, yeah, and you limp around
Yeah.
immediately,
Oh, yeah,
right?
definitely.
You don't have to think about that. Your brain figures that out.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Immediately. Boom. Just like that. Because your ultimate goal is to survive.
Yeah. Protect
Efficiently
yourself.
with lots of stability, right?
Right.
Protect. So your brain's just figuring out a way to get around this injury, still be able to move and survive.
Right.
The problem is that as we're recovering from an injury, sometimes we'll keep those bad movement patterns, and that will lead to issues down the road.
Right. The compensatory movements. I learned this from you a long time ago. It's the laws of physics, the path of least resistance, right? So, unbeknownst to you, you're not thinking of how you're going to compensate around whatever injury you have. Your body naturally will move around it. So, if it's easier to do it, not that it's better, but if it's easier to do that kind of stuff, you're going to do it. So, if you have a weak muscle, or if you have a pain, or some type of immobility or impairment in your function, your body's going to move around it to where it can function and do whatever action or activity you're trying to do.
Right, and that might set you up for an issue down the road,
Right.
but your brain is willing to sacrifice that issue in order to survive in the immediate time right there.
Exactly. And I say you'll see it a lot of times. Like if you just sit there and just go sit at a mall or a Walmart or something, you just watch people. Definitely go to Walmart. yeah. Guess that impairment.
3 in the morning. Gotta be there 3 in the morning.
Guess that impairment. But you can always find, and it's usually a little small. Sometimes you have obviously people that have bigger impairments more than others, but then a lot of people have some type of just impairment that they just walk with every single day that seems to cloud their movement and their entire movement pattern, whether it's the shoulder to the elbow to the hip, all kind of people, even just how you hold it. People just naturally are guarded. People who have hurt their shoulder, they have in this sling for so long, and then they try to take it out, and their body's built up this natural contraction of their body just stays in that protective mode the entire time. But it's a common thing, very common.
Another problem, Kai, is being a baby.
Yeah.
When you're a baby, you're very floppy,
Mm-hmm.
you're not very stable, you're trying to learn how to move, right? And first of all, there's no manual. And if there was, you couldn't read it anyway. You're a baby. So you can't really follow instructions on how to move. So your brain just starts figuring this stuff out, right? And a lot of times, your brain will figure it out and it's good, but sometimes it falters a little bit. And what I mean by that is if we took 10 8-year-olds right now and we said, let's run down the road. 5 of them look just awesome, gorgeous.
Right.
The other 5 look like newborn giraffes. They got stuff going everywhere.
Yeah, body,
right?
no.
And it's like, you're all just running, you're 8. What's the deal? Movement. Right? Understanding movement and learning how to move. So movement patterns.
And sometimes this also goes, and this is a crazy word, SAT, where proprioception, your body just knowing where the limb is in space. Sometimes, some people get it naturally. When you see those people that have natural talent, those athletes that just, they can put their bodies in any contorted position that they need to really create a whatever kind of play. Not everybody has that ability. Your body builds up how just the awareness of where it is when it is moving and what it should feel and what it should move like that. Doesn't naturally come to everybody just on a
Some
whim.
people don't even know where their elbow is.
Yeah, they just
They have no mind-body connection.
Yeah,
Like they're walking around, their head is floating 6 inches above their body. There's
Correct.
no mind-body connection at all.
Correct. And so it's very important, especially as we continue to, when we're moving around, to try to be aware of what a proper movement. And if there is like, hey, I've been moving, how we move, and then we don't, because like I said, if you're moving, you don't recognize that, hey, this pattern is off until someone points it out. Like if you're moving, your hip is bad, and you're moving here, or your shoulder's bad, and you're not quite swinging it. That's what people come here for. So we look at it and we're like, hey, man, that. When you move, your ankle is moving externally rotated when you're going out, or your hip seems to be internally the whole entire time, and you never notice because your body's built up a compensation.
That's their normal.
That's their norm.
That's normal. That's what we're supposed to do. That's how we're supposed to
exactly.
move.
And then Or think about your elderly geriatric patient who might be like this all day, and they're just like this, and they're like, I'm standing up straight. What are you talking about? But and then you say like, no, and then you put them in the position that's correct, and you're like, oh wow, this feels unnatural. Your body's built up a thing like, hey, this is where you need to be because this is where you're safe. But really, your body is like in all kind of forms, and that builds up in more impairments further down the line.
And what we can find from these bad movement patterns is we can discover the dysfunction.
Yeah.
Where's the muscle weak? Where's the muscle tight? Where's the joint stiff? And then we can correct that and correct the movement dysfunction. Because ultimately, we're physical therapists, but we're really movement specialists.
Yes.
We teach people how to move.
Yep, movement experts, man, teaching you how to live and move better in your body, so you can move better and more efficiently without your body having to create more impairments. Because it's almost like medicine. You take one, then it fixes and creates another problem. So we're trying to discredit the old problems and create the solutions for those problems. But
no problems, just solutions.
just solutions. I wish we could pan the camera, you can see it. No problems, just solutions.
All right. So I guess until next time.
Yeah.